I never thought the day would come when grief and betrayal would collide so violently in my life. When my mother died, I thought the hardest part would be learning to breathe again without her in the world. But I was wrong. The hardest part was discovering that the man I had promised forever to had only been waiting for my mother's coffin to close so he could open his hands and grab what she left behind. You know, people say death reveals people's true faces. I didn't believe that, until I saw it for myself. My mother, Evelyn, was brilliant. Not just smart, brilliant. She had this uncanny ability to see 3 steps ahead of everyone else, like she was playing chess while the rest of us were fumbling through checkers. When she smiled at you, it wasn't just warmth, it was calculation, protection, love wrapped in strategy. I used to resent that about her, especially when it came to the man I married. She never approved of Daniel. Oh, she never said the words out loud, but her silence was louder than any warning could have been. He would brag about his grand plans, new businesses, investments, dreams of luxury, and she would just sip her coffee, eyebrows raised, lips pressed together. I hated that look. It made me feel like she was staring into the future and seeing something I refused to. And still, I defended him. Every single time. When she passed suddenly at 62, my world collapsed. I was drowning in regret, haunted by all the unfinished conversations we would never have. The last argument we had was over Thanksgiving. She wanted us together at her home, and I chose to go with Daniel to his brother's instead. That decision will haunt me forever. The funeral was a blur of flowers, polite condolences, and the sound of people remembering her laughter, her wit, her kindness. I barely remember who spoke, only that Daniel seemed to glide through the crowd with effortless charm, shaking hands, consoling me, taking charge of arrangements like the perfect husband. I wanted to believe that kindness was real. 3 weeks later, I sat in my mother's lawyer's office, staring at numbers that didn't feel real. $650,000. Her house, her savings, investments I never even knew existed. She had left it all to me. Every cent. I drove home numb, the paperwork in my passenger seat like a live grenade. When I told Daniel, his reaction was everything I wanted, at first. He hugged me, kissed me, told me how proud Mom would be of me. For a moment, I thought maybe I had misjudged him. But then, the suggestions started. First, it was a new car. Then a summer rental in the Hamptons. Season tickets. A country club membership. A bigger house. Each idea sounded like us, but the hunger in his eyes betrayed him. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about us. It was about money. My mother's money. When I told him I needed time, that I wanted to be careful, he snapped. Careful? This is our chance to finally live the life we deserve. Our chance? I asked. This isn't ours, Daniel. It's mine. That was the crack in the mask. And once it appeared, everything else fell apart. The man who used to bring me coffee in the morning stopped trying. The man who used to kiss me goodnight began sleeping in the guest room. He grew cold, distant. And one night, when I passed by his office, I saw divorce lawyer websites open on his laptop. The silence between us became unbearable. He no longer looked at me with love, only calculation. And then, one night over dinner he finally said it, I think we should separate. I remember staring at him, wooden spoon in my hand, spaghetti sauce simmering behind me. Separate. I repeated. You've changed since your mother died. You're selfish with the money. This isn't working anymore. Selfish. That word sliced through me. My mother had spent her life saving, protecting, building. And he thought I was selfish for not handing it to him on a silver platter. I should have broken then. I should have begged or cried. That's what he expected. But instead, something inside me hardened. I remembered the folder sitting in our safe. The one I had barely skimmed in my haze of grief. I pulled it out, slid it across the counter, and told him to read page 12. He read it out loud, his voice trembling. My mother's final move. If I was married at the time of her death, I wouldn't see a single cent of the inheritance. Not until I was divorced. And no spouse, no outsider, could ever touch a penny. If I stayed with him, everything went to charity. If I left him, I kept it all. The silence in that kitchen was deafening. Only the bubbling of pasta water broke it. You mean, his voice cracked. If we divorce, you get the money? Every last penny, I said. He went pale, then red, then pale again. His hands shook as he whispered, she planned this. She trapped me. Tried again. Nothing. Desperation clawed at me. My fiancé reached for my hand, but even that felt clumsy. Our noses bumped awkwardly when we kissed, like the universe was mocking us. People chuckled. My mother shook her head. The laughter stung worse than any insult. The cake? A disaster. We had picked it carefully, a symbol of sweetness, a centerpiece for the joy we thought we'd share.